Hey, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Sometime back I did an in-depth demo of the Maxon SD-9, and that's something I've been using for a very long time. And I thought today would be a good idea to have a look at a couple of sleeper pedals that maybe don't get as much love as they should. And it's these two guys, the Boss DS-1 and SD-1, and it's the Waza Craft versions that Boss very kindly sent across. Now, the SD-1 has been something that I've been using since the very first Black Stud Blues album. In fact, the whole album was just done with that one pedal and a Marshall JCM 800, the single channel version. So what I would do is to set the amp to a little bit of crunch and then use the pedal with the level full up, the drive maybe just a little bit on, and the tone set to taste. And that was what I would use just to get the amp to crunch up a little bit more, because it didn't really have the full amount of gain that I wanted at the time. The DS-1 again is a very old mainstay that I've had for quite some time, the original MIJ version. And that was something that, you could use with a cleanish amp, but it always seemed to work better when the amp had a little bit of drive on it. In fact, when this was released, the majority of players at the time were running into, driven Marshalls. So I think this was kind of intended to kind of push that into like a full-on screaming lead tone. And that's where it seems to excel the most, according to me. So what we're going to do today is put both these two pedals into a Marshall, the one sitting behind me. I'm going to set the amp to a little bit of crunch and then use the pedals to do the rest and see what that sounds like. So we're going to start with the Marshall. This is without any of the pedals in line. This is just what it sounds like by itself. So it's got a bit of crunch. When you hit hard, it cleans up nicely when you switch to the single coils or pull the guitar volume down. Now we're going to have a look at what the SD-1 sounds like in front. So the level's pretty much all the way up, the drive is around 1/3 of the way, and the tone is somewhat just after the noon point. So it adds a nice clarity to the amp. What it does is it lops off the bottom a bit, pushes the mids, and the top end gets a little smoother. So now in comparison, let's have a listen to what the DS-1 sounds like. So it doesn't really take the bottom end off, so it kind of gets a little bit almost fuzzy. And when you turn the guitar volume down, it's got this lovely stringy quality which adds to the sound. Now let's add a fair amount of stereo delay and just see what that sounds like. Now for a bit of fun, here's the Les Paul, the SD-9 and the Marshall. Now here's the custom mode on the SD-1. So it's a little bit more hi-fi sounding than the stock mode, and it works really well as a boost in terms of hitting an already distorted amp. Now here's the DS-1 in front of the Marshall, and this is with the Les Paul in stock mode. So let's switch over to the custom mode and hear what that sounds like. So again, a little bit more clarity, and the sound is a little bit more full range, great for boosting an amp. Now let's have a look and see what it sounds like in front of a clean amp. So now we're plugged into the Suhr Bella, and this is what it sounds like without any of the pedals on. And this is with the SD-1 on in stock mode. So it works really well pushing the amp into overdrive. The amp itself is, it's got very little drive on it. And now the pedal's kind of pushing that front end and getting that to crunch up a bit. And it's adding some drive of its own as well. So when you get the two to mix together, that sounds very nice. Now let's have a listen to the DS-1 in stock mode in front of the amp. So again, the DS-1 is not as mid-pushed and it's got a bit more bass. So you get that almost borderline fuzzy thing, which is kind of really cool on the higher notes. It just makes them really fat and sing really nicely. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think about the sounds that we got from the pedals, and please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.